Welcome to Simply Simmons, where I'm joined by my mother, Dee Simmons.
Mama D.
Mama D is here, and guess what? We have a new member of the family. What's your grandson's name?
Winslow.
Oh, I'm so glad. This is Winslow Wicket Simmons Locke, and he's
The second.
the second. I don't know why he's the second. That's the Jeremy Locke.
That was
name.
Jeremy's.
Anyway, this is Winslow. He's the newest Brussels Griffin in our family, so we wanted to introduce you to him. And he's ready for the summer, and I'm ready for the summer. I got my hair taken out because he was eating it when he was in bed with me. So I have my short summer cut, just like Winslow has his short summer cut. Got my little yellow headband on because Mom, today we are going to make one of our favorite family recipes.
Original too.
Original, and it's my mother's recipe. And guys, you know I don't like dessert. We're making a dessert. This is one of my favorite desserts. So let me put him down. It's time for your nap, little mister. And Mom and I'll get to cooking. So today we're making Mother's original pineapple pudding. And tell why we're making pineapple pudding.
Okay. Probably most of you out there know all about banana pudding. Because when I grew up, that was a hot new thing. If your mother could make banana pudding. So I just, started making banana pudding when Deanna was a young girl. And she'd go, can't stand this, ooh, she'd spit it out. And I thought, what am I gonna do? Because it's hard, it's all this humble custard and all these things I did. So one day I thought, I've got to change this recipe. And Deandra loves pineapple. So guess what, guys? I started using, instead of bananas, the pineapple. And I promise, actually, I think it's so much better than the banana pudding. And Deandra loves it too.
I love it. So let's get to it. Okay, Mom, so you're gonna teach me today how to make this. I do not know how to make this. I'm gonna learn just along with you.
Okay, first of all, you want to get your double boiler ready. It looks like you put the water in it.
Put the water in it and I've turned it on.
Okay.
So before we begin, always remember the ingredients will appear on the screen and pop up, and of course all the instructions will be there for you as well on the YouTube recipe. So Mom, let's get started. So what we have here are 8 eggs, yolks only, correct?
Because you know why, Deandra? We're doubling the original recipe. Because it feeds more people. And this is something, the difference also that's really good, bananas turn brown overnight. So when you have the banana pudding, if you want to get some the next day,
It's brown.
Pineapple doesn't.
Yeah.
Now, one of the first things I do is I take 2 cans with this of crushed pineapple, and I've drained it to get the juice off.
And that's 2 pounds of the 20 ounce. This is
Yes.
just the dull crushed pineapple that we've used.
Yes, okay. So, looking at our recipe, we're going to combine sugar, flour, and salt in top of a double boiler.
Okay, so here's our 8 egg yolks that we have been beating. And just note that we saved the whites because we're going to make meringue later to top it. So you can always save the egg whites and use something else, use them for something else. So into the egg yolks, first we're going to add the 4 cups of milk.
4 cups of milk.
Now always use your whole milk.
Whole
right, Mother?
milk,
So you want
yes.
to put that in?
Yes. You
So
cannot
combine
skip
these
on
2.
this.
Yeah.
And so you really want to kind of whisk it real good together because you don't want it to curdle. Okay, so that's really good. So Deandra, let's do this. We've got this ready to go. So
We're going to
let's
put that to the side, and then
put it
let's
to the
add
side.
the other dry ingredients.
Put your
okay?
dry ingredients here. Yes.
Let's move this. So now we have a cup of sugar.
Cup of sugar.
Okay.
Okay. And then you have your all-purpose flour.
Okay, and we have, if I remember correctly, it is 2/3 cup of flour. Okay.
And then it says a dash of salt. So we put a dash of salt in there.
Okay. And I like Celtic sea salt, Celtic, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So Mom, the only thing is, this is fine enough. So tell me how much you want for a dash.
Okay, what I would probably do,
Because we're doubling it, so it needs 2
I
dashes.
understand, but you know what? I know how to make it 2
We should
dashes.
do a pinch.
We do 1 little pinch and then 2 little pinch.
Okay, perfect. 2 pinches of Celtic sea salt.
Okay, so now what you're going to do, you're going to go ahead, place this on your double boil. You can actually put that in if you like, and I would be stirring this if I was you.
So I'm going to mix up my flour and my sugar right now. Okay.
And your salt.
and my sweetie, but let's just start here. I've got my water boiling, okay? And then you're gonna take your...
What is it you're putting in there?
This is flour and sugar, and we're gonna combine the egg and salt. We're gonna combine the egg yolks and the milk, a little bit at a time. Okay, so Mom, is this how you make a custard?
This is how you make a custard.
Okay, so you do custard for, just like this for everything you do. Because you make custard for, oh gosh, so many things. What about when you do your creme brulee?
I do that different, and oh, that recipe's amazing. Okay, now we can kind of wash that. You don't want to leave though. You don't want to leave
You
the
don't want it to
fire because you don't want it to get too thick. See, so if you will do that.
Okay, I'll do this.
Now that Deandra is continuing to cook our custard, I'm going to go ahead, and this is a dish we're going to put it in. You can put it in a clear glass or whatever you have. Just remember, whatever you choose has to go in the oven later on. So I'm going to take these, we call them vanilla wafers, and you're going to line your dish just like this, all up, even go up the sides. Guys, there's nothing as good as custard on vanilla wafers. I could just eat that as a dessert. So we're just going to do that really good.
Hey, how do you get up the sides if they're falling down?
Just look at your mama.
Okay, so
Your mama knows
question,
what she's
you don't have to
doing.
spray anything in there in case it won't stick? Okay.
No, you don't spray nothing. Just your mama.
I'm away from the custard. No, I want, oh,
Well, you've got too much water in there.
Mother, you kept making me add more water.
No, you came over there.
No. You told me to add more water.
Excuse me? I did not.
I do not like dessert making because it has to be so precise, and I'm not a precise person. I mean, you should see my house. You've seen my refrigerator, so you know the way I live.
Okay,
It's
let's go
kind of
ahead
like
and
by the
put
seat of my
size.
pants.
Come up the sides. Oh, this is going to be so good, dear.
Can you put more of these vanilla wafers in here? Or does
Not
it matter?
now. Stop. You're doing it too much because we have 2 layers.
So I have cooked my egg yolks, my flour, my sugar, my salt, and my milk over the double broiler, and it is now the perfect consistency for our custard. So we're going to turn the stove off and let that sit.
Okay, so once you remove that from heat, you're going to add the vanilla.
So should I add it now? I just turn the heat off.
Then you bring it over here. You don't leave it under the hot water.
Here.
Put it over
Okay.
here.
There's my custard.
Now you're going to add your vanilla. You want me to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
So remember, we always put more vanilla in this household.
And always shake your vanilla, guys, because if you haven't used it in a long time, things can settle to the bottom. So Deanna, we're going to use a teaspoon.
Okay.
Or do you want to use a little bit more?
No, I want to use a teaspoon.
Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, 1.5 teaspoons. How's that? Because the original recipe, which is half, just calls for half.
Okay.
Let's just add more.
Now,
Okay.
stir that up.
Okay, so I'm going to start that vanilla in the custard. Smells good.
Oh, it's going to be so good. Okay. Now what we're going to do, guys, some people just do 1 layer. I like 2 layers. So the best way to do this is with your hands.
Okay, here's that.
You watch me.
Your hands clean.
Of course.
Well, you were holding Winslow, your granddog.
Are you trying to see your dog's dirty?
Just had a bath. He didn't like it either.
He loves me.
He didn't like the bath.
So now this is the first layer, and of course it has your vanilla wafers, and it has your pineapple that's been drained, your crushed pineapple. So now what we're ready to do, Deanna, is do our first layer of the custard.
I'm going to let you do this because I do not want to mess up a dessert in this household. Is that too hot? You need these?
I need to pick it up. Yeah, thank you.
The boys are going to be so excited. They're going to have dessert.
If there's any left.
While you're doing that, tell the story about the dating. It's too funny.
Okay.
That's the best story. One of the best stories of my mother's dating life. Y'all want to hear it? You want to hear it now. Trust me.
So when I was, there's always a way to land any man you want.
And banana pudding could have been the end of Deandra. Like Deandra could have not happened because of banana pudding.
Okay,
Just so
now
you
look
know.
at this, Deanna.
Mom, you're telling a story.
I'm telling a story.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, so I was dating, actually it was Deandra's father. And so I'd always learned, my mother taught me, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So I had him over and I made a delicious roast with carrots and potatoes and all that. Now that's when bananas, you know. So I thought, oh, make a banana pudding, because no woman, oh, no young woman like me.
The 60s, that was like the hot dessert.
Yeah, it was a hot dessert.
And all the cooking
So I made
magazines
this
and everything.
big banana pudding. So he got ready to serve it, and he kind of looked at it and said, oh my gosh, you're gonna eat it. And I said, go ahead, eat it. Well,
You got him like a double serving.
Well, I made him have another serving. He had first serving.
He said he didn't want it, he was full.
He
right?
said, oh, I'm so full, that roast was so good. I said, no, you're gonna have it, you're gonna. That poor man almost passed out. I made him have 2 bowls of it. I did not know at the time he didn't like bananas. The interesting thing is, the other thing he didn't like was watermelon. And when Deanna was born, and I remember she was in a little high chair, I would, you feed your baby bananas. And she would just throw it up all the way across the room. She didn't like it. And the other food she didn't like was watermelon. Isn't that interesting?
Take after my daddy. So he ate the 2 bowls of banana pudding, believe it or not, and they still got married. So there's hope. Did you make the pineapple next time?
No, I developed that later.
When did you find out you didn't like bananas?
I think you told me about we got married. Now what we're going to do is make our meringue.
Okay.
And we'll be ready to put
A lot of women struggle with meringue.
What?
A lot of women struggle with meringue.
Oh, I'm going to teach you.
There comes the little dog.
Give me a look.
It's good, I know.
This is so good. Of course, the spoon's a little big.
Well, you told me to get this.
Okay, Deandra, so now everything's done except for the very last step is the meringue. So did you chill the bowl for me? Is
That's
that
right.
correct?
I did
Okay.
that. In my freezer, I found some space.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how you found it. Oh, Lord.
There you go.
And you ask why you use a chill bowl. It just helps the peaks to hold and to be firm. So
Normally it would just be in the refrigerator, but you know what? I was trying to do this fast, so
we're
there
going
you
to go
go.
ahead and use it.
So here we have 8 of the egg whites. Are you going to use all 8 or are you going to use half of them to start?
I'm going to do it all.
Okay.
Okay?
There you go. 8 egg whites.
Okay. And then I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And that's what also helps Deandra hold its little peaks.
Okay. And if it's only half of that, then you would use a 1/4 teaspoon, right?
Yes.
So that spoon is
I
going.
know how to do it.
Okay.
Your mom's cooked when we were on.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're going to use vanilla.
Okay. How much vanilla?
I'm going to use about a teaspoon of vanilla. I love vanilla.
Okay. Does all meringue have vanilla in it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no, I think I kind of added that. Okay, where's your mixer?
It's right here. So
How do you get this in?
on high.
This way. The reason I'm beating this real heavy and not putting the sugar now, if I put the sugar in there, it's going to melt it. I'll show you when. Now I'm going to add the sugar.
Now when do you know to add the sugar?
When it gets thick enough.
Okay, so when it's stiffen up, which looks kind of like this, is when you add the sugar.
Peaks.
You have a little peak.
That's stuck. Let me show you something. You always want to test your meringue. Mama D's going to show you something. Look.
It doesn't fall. Oh, looks pretty good to me.
Okay, so now we're going to put this on top.
I wish my butt would do that, not fall.
Take this pudding.
So much for that. If I eat meringue, will my butt stay up like that?
You're so crazy. And you know, some people don't put meringue, but to me, and I'm going to show you a secret when you do meringue.
Just makes it pretty. Here, where's the spoon? Oh,
See, this puts the little peaks if you use a fork, or you could even use the bottom of a spoon.
now, what do we have to do next?
We're going to put it in the oven and wash it like crazy. Because it could be 2 minutes, it could be 3 minutes. The second that sucker browns, when did you put the oven on?
425.
Yes, so it's going to brown real quick. And if you burn it, guess what? And I have done it before. I take all the meringue off and I make another meringue.
Okay, so we're gonna put this in the oven, not to cook it, just to get the
To
meringue
brown.
a little brown.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Okay.
we're gonna do that.
Mhm.
Oh, don't drop.
Okay, here we go. Let's put it in the oven and get it brown.
425
Mhm.
until it gets brown, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you gotta watch it.
And the light's on.
So the light goes off. You have to go like that. Remember?
Okay,
Okay.
please. See, spaghetti.
So we don't turn it around?
You can if you want to.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around. Because it looks like the backside is getting all the love.
You see how pretty it is?
Yeah. Don't burn yourself, people.
Okay, and so I would guess that we only have about another minute on it.
I have a kitchen whirlwind for the weekend.
Okay, it's ready.
Okay, the big reveal. Please don't let me hurt myself again. God, if I drop this thing. Oof.
Oh, I would just have a.
Don't put your hands in there.
Come on, you go behind me.
Today on Simply Simmons, we have completed our Simmons Girls original pineapple pudding.
Yes.
Thanks to my mom.
Thank you.
The only thing that was harmed in this kitchen today was me, because I burned myself. But luckily, the pineapple pudding was not burned. So I hope you enjoy this recipe, because I know we sure will tonight for dinner.
We will, and you know what's so interesting? We have many more coming your way.